Hey there, everybody. So glad you joined us again for another Initiative Zero Rifts adventure, The Devouring Swarm. I'm Magnum Pi with Teku, Golgotha, Vahilo, and Dark Templar. We're so happy you joined us. If you like what you hear, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Every subscription helps the channel out, helps us grow. We keep growing. We've got an active Discord. And we just love having more and more people discover or rediscover Rifts and these kind of classic, nostalgic role-playing games. It's a different way of playing. It's not quite like the newer games, but it has its own charm. And Rifts really is kind of the kitchen sink of role-playing games. It's every genre. It's, what do we have? We've got a pseudo-Jedi, a master psychic, a wizard, and a dwarven mechanic all playing in the same team against a bunch of robots and all sorts of weird stuff. So it's just a mishmash of everything, and we're happy that you're here to share in the chaos with us. Everybody's doing all right there. Golgi and Teku and Vahilo, DT.
Yep, ready to roll.
We've just ready to get at it.
Yeah,
kind of left off on a bit of a cliffhanger again last time, as
we did. It was it was you got to leave people wanting more. Is kind of what I think. But when we last left, you guys were searching for James T. You happened upon the sawmill and house attached to it. Looks like people had been killed, and you were following a trail out into the woods that kind of looped back to the house. Sir Luke, you were the first back on the scene. You heard something as you were investigating the flue, and you saw something move into the kitchen. You went in there, and from behind the door on the counter was ready to pounce on you was James T. However, you won initiative there, and so you do get to go first. Your cyber knight combat awareness from your Zen combat kicks in, giving you an additional 3 to your initiative here. I'm just going to add that to the bonus here, and so there you are. You sense him coming. What would you like to
do? So when he jumps, I kind of like...
He hasn't jumped yet. He's poised and ready to jump. Because you got initiative.
I think I am going to... Well, I don't want to kill him. So I'm going to get ready to go. Like I'm gonna wait for him to jump. When he jumps, I'm gonna kind of use the momentum to throw him across the room.
Okay. You're
not going to use diplomacy here? What happened to all your diplomacy? Said no one.
Do you have body flip as the maneuver on your combat?
Do I have body flip? That's a good question. Do I have that? Combat. I think a lot of things in my thing. Body block.
Oh yeah, body flip throw. You have it. It's right under basic combat maneuvers. It's the second right after.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, you've got it. Cool. So that's all you're going to do. We presume that you are doing it after he leaps at you. That's fine, but it's not on his turn. It's on your turn. So you can give a body flip throw roll there.
Okay, and I think I get a +3 for this too, right?
You will get an additional modifier to your strike and parry of +3. That's correct.
Okay.
All right. And you roll a 3 + 2 is 8. Okay. And he is going to, as you, he's going to leap at you, try to dodge away. He's at a -3 to his dodge. And so, which is basically just trying to avoid being grabbed as he apparently leaps at you. And he does not. So he loses an attack, which makes sense. And you use your first attack to flip him. You do 22 points of STC damage. as you throw him across the room, basically into another bunch of cupboards, which basically they're made of wood and James T is not. And so they splinter and crash. He also loses initiative and another attack as he gets knocked down. And it's your turn there, Luke.
So you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna, make my cyber knight sword appear,
Okay, your size sword.
and as I do that, I'm gonna say, "What have you done?"
All right. Cool. Just selecting that there just to give us a little bit of a view here. And yeah, Luke, you're there. James T is thrown across the room. Basically, now he sits in a pile of broken wood and food that you've thrown him across. You make your size sword. And yeah, he loses his next action, so it's your turn again. He just kind of looks up at you as you threw him across the room. And what would you like to do? Your action. You could make your other size sword. You could.
Yeah, I'll do both, and I'll just say, and as I do that, as I say down,
All right. And he says,
and I look furious, right?
"Yep." Yeah. And he kind of just looks at you and says, "I didn't know it was you." He picks himself up out of the rubble. "Look, I was just trying to lay low, and people just wouldn't let me be." And he
Murdered.
Yeah,
He murdered them.
he basically gets up onto his hands. Yeah. Yeah, you've got the 4 remaining attacks. You can continue to do things, or you can. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's pretty well just on his own there. The most he can do now is defend himself.
Yeah, and I'm not going to, unless he attacks me, I'm not going to attack back. But I'm gonna, basically, I'm gonna ask him, "What have you done?"
Okay, so we're gonna drop out of combat then. But we'll just still alternate. We won't just go attack by attack, though.
Yeah.
We'll just go turn by turn. And says, "I came in and nobody was home. I didn't know if people were still using the place. So I made myself at home." And so he comes back in with his woman and tells me to get the hell out. Well, I told him, "There's no way I'm leaving. I need to lay low." And he's like, I said I'd pay him and give him anything that he needed. Just needed to lay low, but he wouldn't have at it, and he tried to throw me out, and he tried to throw me. You threw me, but he couldn't throw me. But so yeah, and she screamed when she saw me, and that didn't help. And I told her to shut up, or I'd make her shut up. And then he told me that I couldn't talk to her that way, and he came at me, and well, I had to defend myself. And so down he went, and then she just wouldn't stop screaming. So I had to make her stop screaming. Well, then I had to clean up the mess, because he was kind of a mess. She wasn't so messy, but he was a bit of a mess. And so I cleaned up the mess, and then yeah, I came back here, and I guess it was you that came in, so I hid, and well, you guys, here we are. That was about, I don't know, a day or two ago.
Okay, I'm just looking at him, like just disgust, right?
Okay, and it's like, what? You telling me you wouldn't defend yourself?
He murdered them.
They came at me. They were going to give me away. It's self-preservation. Come on, Cyberknight, even you can appreciate self-preservation. Which
No,
you also notice
not like-
now that you've had a conversation further with him, is that he used to have skin on his forearms and his hands, and it's gone now.
What happened to the skin on your arms, boy?
Yeah. Had to come off.
Why is that?
No. Just got injured and ragged and was falling off, so I just took it off.
We had an interesting talk with Mez.
Yeah. What'd that blob tell you? And he starts to kind of pace a little bit back and forth in this end of the room here.
He told us a very different story about your past, particularly with that young woman that he said he stole from you. Or he said he stole from you.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. You think he'd say my story?
Well, therein lies a bit of a problem, isn't there?
What? What problem is that? That our stories don't line up? You already know that I told you the truth. Told you there was a cave. Yeah, you do. Told you there was a cave. Told you there was bots. Told you that he'd be there.
Yep.
Told you where
Yes,
you
you
could
did.
find the ones that destroyed that town. Killed those people. I lie to you?
I'll just say that I think that you have your truth telling is situational, based on self-interest and, what did you say, self-preservation.
Yeah. I recall you conveniently not telling everybody all the details.
About what?
About our exploits, leaving out certain things, not getting into all the deep details with Mez, with with the lady on the monster. Come on, Luke. You're no better than me. High and mighty, but you leave me out in the cold.
Yeah, I'll admit that wasn't one of my finer moments.
He kind of keeps eyeing your psi swords as you stand there blocking that. Give me a perception check real quick.
All right. Okay, just a second here. Perception.
And you can add a +3 bonus from your cyber awareness because you're still queued up for that. Oh,
Oh, shit.
sorry, man.
Oh, good.
Sorry. Even with
That's a good, strong number.
That is
yeah,
that is terrible.
you're overcome
so
with
9, but
yeah, you're overcome with some
yeah.
emotion there. It would have to. Yeah, the difficulty is higher than a 9 for you to notice
Yeah.
what I wanted you to
yeah,
notice.
no, I get that. It's just, yeah, it's appropriate. It's just, wow,
Yeah.
worst possible timing.
All right. So he just kind of paces back and forth at this end.
I think we should have a little discussion with Mez, don't you?
Discussion. Discussion. You think that we should have a discussion with somebody that wants to kill me? And now you hear, oh, he sent you. He sent you to get me. Did he let Portland live? He let Portland live. That's what it is. He let Portland live because he wants me. Oh, Mez. Always the same. Always the same. Same old Mez. Same old Mez.
So I'm just kind of staring him down.
Okay. And, yeah. So he continues to stare you down. And How long do you want to keep staring him?
Well, I'm going to have to move in eventually because I don't know that the others are coming.
Right.
So we could do this one of two ways. We could do it an easy way or we could do it hard.
All right, I'm listening.
The easy way is you go willingly and there's a trial.
Trial. Oh, sorry. Go on.
The hard way is I drag you there in pieces.
You'd really do that, huh?
I'm not just going to say anything. I'm just going to stare at him.
All right. A new roll for initiative. You do get the +3.
All right.
Did you add your 3? Yep.
Yep.
Cool. So he has initiative now, and he throws himself through the window, smashing through the window. Leaps. The leap that he can make you recall, it makes you think back to when you first encountered him in the cage that he was in, how he jumped up and grabbed onto the bars just by pushing himself off the ground with his hands. He jumps and smashes through the window, obviously landing outside in the snow.
I'm going to chase and follow him.
Okay. And you will head outside. You guys are now out in the snow, and it says, "You're not taking me, Luke. You're not taking me."
Is that a fact?
That is a fact.
So it's going to be the hard way then, eh?
All right. And it's his action, and he holds up his right hand, balancing on his left, and a vibroblade flips out from basically the point is down near his elbow, and it flips out to be extended even longer than his arm. You can see that there is that it's already covered in blood down mostly near where it joins into his forearm. His hand even kind of folds back so that it's more of an extension of his forearm. You're on, Luke.
So I'll just smile and say, good. I prefer that you actually, this is more of a fair fight. So I'm going to wait for him to come at me.
All right. So you forego your attack, and on one hand he pushes himself off the ground and lands on that hand again with his blade pointed back at you, putting a single depression into the snow. He jumps a distance from you, pointing the blade in your direction.
So he's jumping away from me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if he's going to try to get away, I guess he's got his vibro sword out. I think this counts as a fair fight, right? According to my code.
I don't know. Half a man with one arm, with it's a vibroblade, the other one he's balancing on. I don't know. You call that? I don't know. You may have more limbs than him. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to.
You make the decision whether or not it's a fair fight.
I'm going to make one of my vibroblades disappear at least.
Okay.
So it is a little bit more equal. I'm only going to use one. Okay, so I'm going to leap at him and swing.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Can I just interject for a second here?
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of code do you have that you're going to have one sword.
You're going to have to go back a couple episodes. He did give a run through.
Yes.
Can you please cut off both your legs too? That or whatever it is, just to make it a little more fair. Like, I feel like you standing chance here, but according to your code, you might as well go. I feel like at some point, just using your brain has to counteract your sense of whatever the fuck this is. No?
Suffice to say, this is probably the closest thing I could be a fair fight as I can be, because I don't think, even with one sword, he's going to do particularly well.
Wow.
So it's just never attack an unarmed foe. Never use a psi sword on an opponent not equal to the attack. So not up to the attack, right? Like,
Yes.
not equal to the Cyber Knight, but...
Yeah. So I'm good.
Why don't you just use like a sharp stick?
He's got a vibro sword. I think it makes sense to at least use a similar.
I think you can take it.
Well, I probably could,
Yeah, just say it.
but I'm going to use my cyber sword.
I
My
feel
psi
like
sword.
I feel like if you spit hard enough in the direction, it'll know.
Anywho,
Yeah, go ahead.
All
Sorry.
right, so you leap at him, you say?
I'm in the background.
yeah.
All right. And swing your psi sword.
All right, and that's a +3, right?
You get a +3 to strike, yeah. All right, you leap at him. And he will parry that.
No, he won't.
So he takes 10 points of damage as you slice into his chest. All right. And, yeah, he is... Yeah. It's like, you hit me! Your next attack. And you can tell that he was trying to hit where you were coming, but he wasn't able to determine your trajectory. Your next attack there, Luke.
Okay. So can I spend some time, like, with my next attack, trying to cut off the arm where he's got the vibroblade?
Yeah, it's just a named shot, so it'll take you 2 attacks, but you can do that. So you wait, you can. That's a called shot. Do you want to do an aimed called shot? Well, I guess there is no aimed called shot for hand to hand. So it's just So on your second attack, then you can swing at his arm. Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
The arm is a smaller target, so you'll be at a -2.
So +1.
But you hit. 10 to his arm. I'm just going to keep track of his arm up here. In a different...
And he's like -3 on the defense, right?
only on dodge.
Oh, on dodge, okay.
Well, I guess he does get a chance to parry that, because parry's automatic, so he'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And... And he does parry that. So
just barely.
So no hit. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Your turn. Your last 2
the same
attacks.
thing.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah.
He'll roll to parry. 12 to parry. And you hit, doing 7 points of damage to his arm. Cool. All right. Initiative.
All right.
How far out are we from this scene, by the way?
Luke is very fast. You guys are very slow, and
They are very slow. I'm moderately fast.
Are you leaving them in the dust?
I mean, the element of
might
speed
as
to this.
well. You might as well.
But there's also like, Sixth Sense is only like 90 feet. I can see further than 90 feet.
But you're so panicked when you see his footprints just seem to be just going in a direction you nowhere to be seen. I would be so worried about my friend. I would definitely charge as fast as I could, which I'm sure you would do as well.
I mean, there is something to be said for that. But
Agreed. And
Yeah.
Gotcha and I will just slowly walk back and be like, well, this is just us again.
Well,
Maybe just saunter. Maybe not a slow walk, just a saunter.
but
Yeah.
Sir Luke took off before you rolled to investigate all the bits, right?
Yep.
So there's that time difference, right? And you spent some time looking around. Okay, well, that's the time that you spent with your bit looking, I guess, right? About the equivalent amount of time. Cool. So now it's the amount of time that it takes for you to cover the distance to get back to where he is, right? So it's been a grand total of 2 minutes and 15 seconds since they engaged in combat. So a little bit of time still. But yeah, I know it sucks to be on the
no.
there, but Sir Luke, you have initiative.
All right. Same thing. Going after the arm.
All right. So we'll keep that for the second action. As you aim, he gets an attack first.
Right.
So
right.
He will take a swipe at you, leaping in your direction, and an 8 will hit.
Can I parry it?
You can. Your roll won't count anymore to strike.
Oh, no, then I'll take it.
Because it'll mess up your called shot, right? So
Yep, no, I'll take it.
Okay, so you take it, and cool. That is 7 points of mega damage off your armor.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
And 21 for my aim shot, right?
Yeah, and he will parry that.
Try.
And will not. And so he will take an additional 12.
So at 22.
All right. Slashes in his arm. You can see that you're just cutting into the outer metal of his arm. Whatever he is made of, it is very durable. And he says, we can keep at this all day. Eventually that force field's coming down, Luke. And he leaps at you again. Totally missing you. Your attack.
Okay. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to go for the arm.
Okay, so you take aim, and he will leap at you for a third time and slash. Will hit. If you choose to parry, you give up your targeting.
That's how much damage is on it?
No, last time you took 7.
No, I'll take it.
Okay, so you take another 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm assuming that you're going to spend the rest of your attacks all just aiming and slashing?
Indeed.
Okay, so give me 2 rolls to hit, and with the two rolls to hit with the damage. first one, which will be that, and he will attempt to parry, which he does not. And the second roll for you. And that one he does parry. And then your last action, you take aiming. So this exchange will go back and forth for quite some time. What we can say then is over the course of 2 rounds, you've done 30 to him and he's done 14 to you. So let's just do that for another 2 rounds. So if you take off 28, I will take off 60. As you continue to hit his arm and he continues to hit your force field there.
Why is that going on? Why is it not changing?
Type in -14. Sorry. He did minus 28, sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to -28. Why is... Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right. And yeah.
How's his arm looking?
You've certainly slashed into it enough times that it kind of jerks when he tries to move it, and the like, and yeah, he'll begin to run from you. He folds the blade back in and two-handed running from you. He is nowhere near as fast as you. Would you like to change your tactic, or are you going to keep slashing at his arm?
I'm going to chase him.
And do what?
And would it be possible
you
to
will catch up to him for sure. So when you catch up to him, what do you want to do?
So would it be possible to like put a boot to his back and like hold him down?
So you want to try to grapple him in some fashion. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's going to be a strike check to grab him. If you you have wrestling, I think.
I do indeed.
So if you get an 18, 19, or 20, you can pin him if that's your goal. Or you can do a body block and tackle, which will bring him to the ground. You throw yourself at him. Of course, you would want to let go of your psi swords to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So that's
so just roll a body block body block tackle.
Body block tackle.
Down under wrestling moves.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Basic combat, martial arts. Body block. Here we go. And I got a +3 for that, right?
You have a +3 to strike, yeah. Cool. That's a 15. He's going to try to dodge, and he's got a -3. And he rolls a 16 to your 15, so he will dodge out of the way. So you are on the ground, and he will continue moving away, but you can catch up with him again. And your total bonus to strike is a 5. His total bonus is a 4 with the dodge. So he will dodge. You will eventually, when the randomness all evens out, you will probably end up jumping on him and knocking him down. Right, you have a 100% chance of knockdown because of your training in that. So, rather than play through the striking and, and dodging as it will, because it'll just come down to random rolls, you have a +1 advantage. So, you will eventually get him because he can't outrun you, and you will pin him, or you will body block him. And eventually pin him as you will kind of follow him along through the thing. What is your strength?
My strength is a 36.
36, and it's extraordinary, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And his is considered robotic. So, you actually are fairly equal. So again, it's going to just be the tussle where he's resisting you, you're pinning him down, you're using the added advantage of your training, which he does not have. So it's not that you have him in a full Nelson. It's like he will exert himself and break out. You'll grab him again. So you're still tussling and things like that. If you wanted to, you could, by virtue of a sort of power attack, do mega damage to finish off his arm. His arm is looking like you could probably break it off if you wailed on it enough times with a power attack while you have him pinned.
I would do that.
Then he has one less arm.
I would do that.
Okay. Just roll 2d4 3 times for me. I just want to see kind of how long it takes. Eventually you're going to hit him, but I'm just going to say that for every hit that you get on him, he will get a hit back on you.
Did you say me roll 2d4, you said?
That's right. Okay, so that's 5. Roll again.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, and roll one more time. Yeah, okay. So you'll take, as he kind of throws his elbows back and fights against you and things like that, you will take an additional 25 points of damage as he'll pull his blade out and try to slash at you as you tussle around. You're trying to wail on his arm, keep him away from you. He'll throw his elbows back, things like that. So he is damaging things, but eventually you tear his arm off and throw it away. And we'll say that tussling happens over quite some time. Luckily, you're very endurant, right? You are getting a little winded, but you were fighting him, and he's struggling the whole time.
My physical endurance is 26, so it's quite high as well.
That's right. That's why I say, like, you get tired. You do get over the course of time, but you are an Atlantean. You tire very slowly. This is where Senate, you are moving quickly.
Captain America, I could do this all day, basically, but not quite.
Not quite, but you're kind of going, I could do this all day, right? Like you are going to get a little winded because like I said, you're struggling. It's not so easy just to pin this guy because he's got robotic strength. Senate, you are running back, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Portland, are you running back?
As fast as I can.
Okay. And you have a speed of 8, I think, right?
Probably. Let's go.
Yeah. And Godric coming up behind you, huffing and puffing, but Senate, you'll arrive first on the scene there and see just in time to see Luke throw James T's arm off into the distance.
Huh.
With James T basically facing the snow, Luke on his back, and tearing his arm off and throwing it away. You see a large vibroblade, Luke is glowing in his armor,
Yeah. Can I use sorry, I'm looking for it. It's way down the list. Electrokinesis to turn off that vibroblade.
It's off his arm, so
you can.
He's got
tore it off
another
his
one,
arm.
doesn't he?
You can try. Yeah, you can try.
He has another one in his other arm, does he not?
You have no idea.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, you just threw away the vibroblade. I got you.
Yeah.
The arm that had the extended vibroblade. Yeah.
Yep. You kids look like you're having fun.
You want to try turning him off?
Sure. I don't know how well this is going to go, and I will.
Like you do with the,
with most other things. Yeah.
the
I
coalition forces and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little tired, is what I'm saying.
I will attempt a biomanipulation, paralysis.
Okay. Cool. And he does not save. So he is paralyzed.
How long?
44 minutes.
Yeah, give her a roll.
It's a good number of minutes.
Yeah, and you can spend 6 additional ISP to just keep extending the duration by another 44 minutes.
Yeah, that seems a useful thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're just going to presume that's a 15 that you rolled, and that
And generalize from there.
and then every time you spend 6, you're just going to extend it by another 15 minutes. By this, eventually, as you're there, you wait for Portland and Gotrek to arrive, and there is a face-down, paralyzed, one-armed James T in the snow.
So look at them. Let's get this guy back to Mez.
And I'll look at him and, well, I'll look at Luke and, are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And I'll, hearing that, kind of look at James and his missing arm and, all right. Well, I'll keep him, I guess, locked down if you can carry him. I don't really want to.
I throw him over my shoulder.
I don't want to leave his arm laying around though, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and go off and find that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just over there. I threw it over there.
Yeah, you guys.
I did watch you. Yeah.
You guys find that. Gotrek, when you see the arm and you see kind of the juncture that where it was torn off, that looks unlike any other sort of robotics or bionics that you've seen. You're not a big bionics guy, but robotics you know. And he's definitely something other.
Yeah, when Golgotha was talking about kind of Sir Luke ripping off the arm and throwing it, as Gotrek, I was just kind of thinking to myself, I want that. So I want to try and go to where it is and go and collect that piece of James T.
Okay. So, you didn't, well, yeah, you can, I guess, he says he threw it over there. Senate, you were going to go get it, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so Senate goes to go get it. Gotrek, you try to stun. I mean, Senate is faster than you. You'd have to speak up, sort of thing.
Yeah. So I would just say, like, as I see Senate going, I would just look at it and be like, are you going to collect that arm? I think I might be able to make use of it on something.
Yeah, I just don't want to leave a weapon laying around. So we'll stow it and pull it apart for whatever it's worth down the line.
Yeah, and it might help understand how James T works a little bit better.
So, do you want to give it to Gotrek? Is Gotrek carrying it? Is Senate carrying it? Who's?
I mean, I'll just slug it along. I don't know that it strongly matters. I'm not putting up a huge fight for it. I literally just don't want a child to find it.
So Gotrek.
So as you pick it up and start walking back, I just want to be like, here, I'll take it, and I'll just kind of grab it and kind of pull it out of his hand.
Okay, he's a little bit grabby, but if you don't put up any resistance,
you're not getting much of a fight, but you are getting my attention. So let's move on.
In the meantime, I'm walking towards Mez's place, and I'm just like stone-faced.
Okay, Portland, the silent partner. What's going through Portland's head here?
Well,
or should I ask?
Are you visible now? Like,
yeah, I should be pretty visible at this point.
pretty visible.
Yeah. So I look up at Sir Luke, and I guess I see the malice in his eyes as he looks.
No
back at us.
No malice. No malice. There's no malice. It's just stone. I've seen things, man.
So I'm gonna interpret that as the stone cold face that he has from throwing this particular James, who was once our companion, out the window, and he's lying face down, lack of an arm, and kind of just trying to take it all in here. I think my character in the voices in my head is wondering whether I can trust Sir Luke, whether he is, as he says, a noble person. And the second time, he actually left, literally, James out in the snow.
All right. So you just follow
along. Was all of that a monologue, or was any of that out loud?
That's in my head.
Okay.
It's all in my head. I'm just trying to decipher what's going on. Scene that
Okay.
right? You seem a little confused yourself when you said, "Are you good?" Right? So I'm kind of maybe debating whether it's more like psychologically him being fucked up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna just kind of spark up and kind of shake myself off and say, "Do you want me to put a stone through the other one?"
Let's look over.
No.
No,
And
no,
what other one?
The other arm.
Oh, no, he's good.
You sure? Okay.
we're good.
Yeah. We'll let you know if things changes. Like, we'll let you know quite clearly.
Just give me a sign.
I'm just going to stand there entirely non-reactive because
Oh,
I don't
boom.
even,
Don't even breathe.
and I will let you know it using clear, basic language.
All right.
I'm really going to have to watch what I say for the rest of this goddamn game now.
Do I need to revive this guy? Is he like gonna die?
No. He's
No,
okay.
we'll get it squared away. You said you found the woman in the house.
There was a woman in the house. Yes,
Was
a young
she?
lady.
There's no nice way to say this. Was she in one piece? Because we
Well,
found
I think
pieces.
she was entirely intact, but I can't be sure. I did check to see if she was breathing, and she was not. I held a mirror to her face and saw her slash jaw unit. And I don't think that's how people sleep without breath and movement. And she looked
Okay,
pretty pale.
that's
Her
fair.
eyes were
Yeah.
open. So yeah, none of those things obviously spell alive, but she looked like she was in one piece. Of course, I only saw the lump of body underneath those blankets, so I didn't see anything else. She could be sliced up or whatever it could be underneath there. I have no idea. But I also want to add that is a very nice blanket that she's under as well.
Um, like you could see me trying to like muster a response midway through, and just kind of saying at the end like, okay. So
Yeah. You know
I'm
what?
fairly sure.
I think about it. I'm gonna go and get a drink because that was pretty fucked up. All right, I was gonna walk right
Okay,
past
that
James T
that
back in the
we can
building
agree on.
and grab something to drink.
That we can agree on. So
Put both feet up and just enjoy some clean glasses.
the only reason I ask is that I want to be sure that there's no one in need of some rescue or assistance.
Oh no, he did.
Yeah, we found a whole pile of viscera and yeah, okay. I mean, we were
Yeah.
there
Do we
for.
know that? Do we know if James T did this?
I mean, I have a psychic sort of sense.
And
Sir Luke?
Sir Luke, any
I turn over. Yeah, he did this. He admitted it.
I see.
Look at the
Well,
arm. Look at the blood.
let's get him back into town.
Look at the blood on the his viral blade. He eviscerated them. Or at least
Okay.
one of them.
Well, yeah. Well,
Okay.
you know, sometimes you gotta
Well, let's
do what you gotta do. I guess.
get back to
We
town
gonna
and
tie him up? What are we doing here?
he's I've got him. He's tied up.
All right, cool.
All right. As you walk back into town, Gotrek, you do have telemechanics. Do you want to use that on the arm?
So with telemechanics, like I'm just kind of rereading it here, and okay, so being able to communicate with it telepathically,
That's if
would
it's
that
or
would
that's
I be able to ask it?
that's an artificially
Sorry?
intelligent machine. So this is not an intelligent machine, right? This is just a
Oh, okay, so I would just know how it operates.
you would get the entire schematic, right? Operation knowledge schematics, everything that has to do with it. Knowledge is temporary, which means it would be by the time you get back to like you're just going to rely on your own normal memory to recall any information, right? Which it starts. It's almost like a dream, right? It starts to get hazy and shortly after, but for like after the 10 minutes plus 2 minutes per level of the duration. But during that time, you have that knowledge. And by the time your telemechanics wears off, you will be kind of, at least fully informed and have more knowledge about this thing. right?
Right. Okay, yeah, like could I do this as I'm walking or would I have to like stop and
Yeah, I would let you
sit
do it
with
while
it?
you walk, because you walk fairly slow, and
Yep.
and it's a flash of insight. You might stop for a moment as it just kind of floods your mind, but then you'll kind of have it for the walk and the like, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that as we're as I'm
Okay,
walking with it.
cool. Take off the 10
Do I
ISP then, and
do I notice that he does that?
you're pretty focused on maintaining your biomanipulation, right?
Okay, fair.
And yeah, he's just kind of, and he's behind you for sure, right? He's toddling
Yep.
behind you. So, but he's certainly holding the arm in his hands, sort of thing. And yeah. So Gotrek, this is so precise, right? It's so precise, and so the intricacy of it and the level of complexity of the circuitry and the schematics and the design and the just how tightly everything is put together and how perfectly it is, the precision level. You don't know of any person that can make something to that degree of precision. It's a wonder that Luke was even able to tear it free, right? Like the amount of damage that it must have been able to withstand before that happened, right? And it's no wonder to you anymore that James T is still functional in the state that he's in. And it operates on a level, it's almost itself intelligent, but not quite. It's that level of machine response to James T's own biological impulses and stuff like that.
Would I have any ideas to where something like this would be created? Or would it kind of just be like an assembly line by the coalition or something like that?
It definitely would have to be made in a facility that is, there's no way a person could make this unaided, right? Like it's just, there's no person that you know of anyway. It would have to be beyond like an alien level or godlike level of intellect to be able to do this. And of course it would have to be aided by very sophisticated machinery, right, in order to construct something like this. And so you walk, cradling the arm, and the rest of you walk as well. You make your way back into town, and the mansion is there. Doors are closed. The walk is shoveled all the way up to Mez's mansion, and you approach.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and knock.
All right, you knock, and a man answers. He's got a few days of growth on his face. He's wearing, just kind of average, sort of common clothing. He's not dressed up or anything like that. And he has a rifle in his hands. He says, "Oh, it's you. We were just about to go out looking for you. Where'd you go?"
You can tell for Lord Frommalaine we have him.
Have who?
And I kind of pick, him up. He wanted this man.
The look on his face is like he kind of steps back when he sees James T in the condition. "Man," he says.
Well, maybe at
You
one
can
time.
you can waste our time, but you're also wasting Fromaline's time. Reflect on that.
Good point. Come in, take a seat in the parlor. I'll be right back. Or Lord Frommalaine will be right back. And he kind of walks back in, leaving the door open for you. After a few moments of you sitting there, I guess take off the 6 ISP twice, right, to sustain it for double or triple the duration originally, right?
It,
And Gotrek, you keep holding the arm in the open, or what?
Yeah, like I would just be sitting in a chair.
You can be all in there, unless you don't want to all be in there.
No, I just want to make an observation while we're in here. So as we
Okay.
all sit down, I'll be like, "Hey, I don't know about you guys, but is that a new butler?"
I'll just kind of slowly turn to look at Portland, just look at him for about 3 seconds, and then kind of nod a little bit.
Is that
It
not a
is a-
sign?
Gonna look
Is that
away.
not
it is a new
sign?
butler. The butler is fine.
Okay,
Did you have a drink? I know you went looking.
not in the last hour.
I thought you went to go get a drink.
He came with us.
Well, I had a drink while I was in that person's house, and then I took like a roadie on the way here.
You might need to.
But I could use another one. I'll be back. I know where they are. They're downstairs somewhere.
No.
And I'm gone.
Not do that.
Apparently, he has.
All right. As you step out the door, you almost run into Lord Frommalaine as he stands there looking at you coming out of the door. Portland Mud, are you going somewhere?
Well, I was going to get a drink if possible.
He looks over at the man standing beside him, the one that has the rifle. What do you want to drink, Portland?
Either an ale or a wine, please, would be fantastic.
Bring him an ale.
Thank you.
Go have a seat.
Awesome.
And Frommalaine comes into the parlor with you. The parlor, by the way, is very high class. Wingback chairs, a hand-carved couch with cushions, a fireplace. Right, it's quite a nice area. None of them appear to be something that Frommalaine himself could sit on. And actually, you don't even know if he. Well, I guess in the trial he did some sitting, but Frommalaine waits for the man to return with a mug of ale for Portland, and tells him to leave after he gives Portland his mug. Doors close, and
I do thank the servant before you leave.
yeah,
Manners.
he just kind of gives you a nod. Frommalaine, the entire time he is in the room, he says nothing until that happens, just looking at James T. Once the door closes, he glares at you. First Portland, then the other, then Senate, and Sir Luke, and then Gotrek. Back to Senate and Sir Luke and Portland. He says, I wanted him alive.
He is.
He was alive.
Very much
There
as
you go.
alive as he was before.
What's wrong with him?
Sir Luke,
Senate-
what is wrong with him? Because I was even there.
Well, Senate was the one who was able to shut him down.
He looks
Given
at
Senate
that,
Senate.
he'll
unconscious.
recover.
He's
Well,
unconscious.
Well,
No,
the
he doesn't
arm
look
won't
unconscious. His eyes are wide
recover. No,
open.
he's very much awake and can hear you.
Oh.
Like, he can actually speak too. He's just not saying anything.
I don't think he can speak. I thought we
Actually-
had this conversation already.
Yeah, I checked it out. They can actually speak.
Oh, he can? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive, or whatever you call this.
As alive as he was before, except his arm.
I'm just gonna hold up that arm.
The miller and his wife are dead. He murdered them.
Oh, sorry, they can't speak. You're right.
We sent Cade to pass a message, which I realize in retrospect, given his history with messages, might have been a decision that is, in again hindsight, a little suspect.
I received no
Did
message.
Cade- Of course not.
He didn't.
Anyway, I had a vision while we were, I guess, dismissed from court. And it seemed temporal. So we reacted as quickly as we could. We sent Cade to pass a message to you. Apparently, he admitted what he did to Sir Luke. I'm sure he can expand on it better than I can.
Yeah.
And you share with him what occurred?
I do.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
Cool. Frommalaine says, well then. Good.
And I will raise an eyebrow at the word good.
And he can still hear me?
He can.
And a tentacle grabs James T and pulls him right to Frommalaine's face. Says, I've been waiting to do this for a long time. Long time.
If I could ask you to stay your hand for just a moment.
And his bionic eye dilates and stares at you with this red light.
Which is to be expected, I think, given the natural coloration of the thing. And I will just hold up my hand, and there's nothing in it. And I will extend one finger, and I will reach out and make contact with James T and try to use not biomanipulation, my own telemechanics, because it occurred to me, probably should have done that by now. And I'm not looking for the schematics of the arm, because I'm more curious. If this is the thinking component, I should be able to access how he thinks if he is an intelligent machine. But I'm not exactly sure where that falls. So this is more me being curious. Well, sorry, this is more Senate being curious.
All right. He sees you go to touch James T and just watches what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so spend. You spend?
Yeah.
Your eye speed? Okay.
10, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. And, your mind is flooded with schematics, all sorts of things. Same sort of information that you got from Gotrek. That Gotrek got.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I would get his memories.
You don't get any sort of intellectual information.
Okay, that's fine. That's what I was curious about. Because I didn't expect the arm would have that kind of information, but I was curious about the brain.
No, you don't touch his brain, that's for sure.
No. But as that was connected to this segment of his body, that's fine. The limits of my ability are now understood.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
And with that, I will withdraw my hand.
What did you do?
Down. I tried to get a better understanding of him using my own abilities, and he is truly something else.
What makes him tick?
I'll never know what makes him tick, but you can hear me now, half man. I'm going to leave you like you left me. He looks at Portland. By my calculations, we should be approaching a solstice. Am I wrong?
I have astronomy and navigation.
So do I.
I roll it. Summit. Holy shit.
Wow.
Holy Jesus.
Wow.
That's I'm impressed.
I'm not even mad.
What the fuck?
Which way is the sky, man?
Yeah. You're literally scratching at the ground.
What was in this ale?
Is this
Wow.
real life?
So
You're
those
looking
of
at
you
the
that
ground,
also have
Venus
astronomy can roll it as
Venus
well.
is in retrograde.
Yeah, I will
Oh my god.
that's
Not today.
How did that happen?
That's
Good
fantastic.
Lord.
You
Can
did
you
it.
Can you just give it to me?
You did it. You got the worst allowable roll.
That's insane.
You guys just
wow.
obviously haven't been paying attention to the date, and so you're just like, you've been dealing with so much, right? Your minds have been just gone.
Drunk as fuck.
Yeah,
Drunk as bananas.
and he's like, well, we'll find out. About 50 miles to the south, we're going to wait for a rift to open up. And then you're going in, he looks at James T. Throw you to the wolves like you threw me. And he looks at the Cyber Knight. Justice.
Kind of like a slight nod. I could see it.
Senate.
Sorry, do I see the slight nod?
I don't know how slight was it, Sir Luke? I'd
It's
imagine
like,
you wanted
it's
it
like,
to be seen. So that's
Yeah.
I mean, justice is a word, I suppose.
Man.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, he just keeps James T held aloft. How long will he stay this way?
I need to continue the effect every 10, 15 minutes. I don't have an infinite mental resource to keep it up.
All right, then. And another tentacle comes out with a vibro blade, and he slowly removes the other arm. We can't let him have any hands. And after a minute or so, clung, it falls to the ground.
And I'll lean forward and just pick it up. Nothing really remarkable about it.
All
Kind
right.
of cast my gaze sideways at Gottridge.
I expect my house repaired, he just says to Gottridge. And
It'll happen, but I want to keep this arm.
have your souvenir.
I scooped it up and looked at you as though to indicate it's coming with us.
Portland mud.
Your house will be fixed.
Portland mud.
Yep.
His life is in forfeit for yours. So you get to keep that. But I'm in need of a butler. And you're in need of, well, seems alcohol. And a little bit of help. These visions, we need to figure them out, and this place is going to need more defense than just me.
What happened to our other companions, the Psystalkers?
I don't know. I told them not to leave town. It seems they didn't quite heed my warnings.
Warnings are one word for it. I'm happy to stay and commune with the psychics because I myself am interested, but I make no commitments to stay.
Word it however you like. You can stay in the rooms upstairs.
And as far as my effects, I'd like them back.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure something can be arranged. But first, we'll have some supper. And he leaves the room with James T. And that is where we'll leave this episode. Thank you all for joining us again. If you haven't liked us, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to support the channel in that way. Leave comments. We love to hear them. I'm Magnum Pi. I'm here with Teku, Golgotha, Vahilo, and Dark Templar. And we are Initiative Zero.